Hi everybody, my name is Carrie Collins. Today I'm going to be telling you about the federal minimum wage. Should minimum wage be increased to $15 an hour? According to recent research that I've conducted, here's why it's going to be a bad idea. Some cons of raising minimum wage would be the loss of jobs. Consumer prices are going to drastically increase. There will be also an increase in housing costs and taxes. It's going to hurt small businesses, and then bigger companies are going to be moving to other countries to save money. So let me start. I'm also going to be addressing the history of the federal minimum wage. But let me start by giving you the definition of what a minimum wage is. It's the lowest wage permitted by law or by a special agreement, such as one with the labor union. So I'm going to start by addressing unemployment rates. What would happen if we increased our minimum wage to $15 an hour? Business owners would be forced to lay off more people because they can't afford to pay as many workers $15 an hour. Small businesses will be forced to close because they're not going to have as many people to work for them because they can't afford to pay them that hourly wage. Forbes, which is a American business magazine, found that an increase in minimum wage has already closed several Walmarts around the world, which is actually crazy because Walmart is one of the largest companies and more successful ones around. And then another thing I found out was that Jamie Richardson, who is the VP of White Castle, said that he would be forced to close almost half of the stores and let thousands of workers go if the minimum wage was increased by this much, which is really sad. That's tons of jobs just gone. Another reason why unemployment would go up is because business owners would consider using robots over people to save money because they don't have to pay robots, but they have to pay people. So that's another reason loss of jobs would just decrease by so much. The next thing I'm going to be talking about is consumer goods and housing prices. So if people are making more, renters are going to charge more because the minimum wage is so much higher. And they have the right to do that, obviously. So the University of California researchers found that rent would be approximately $200 more just a month, which is insane, honestly. And then inflation is going to be up through the roofs. So a 2015 Purdue University study conducted that if minimum wage goes up to $15, consumer goods just in general are going to go up with prices. So fast food restaurants, their burgers are going to be so much more expensive. Coffees are going to, double in price. And they found out, Purdue University study found out that there will be a 4 to 25% price increase just alone in general. And if there's no price increase, there's going to be a 12 to 70% product size decrease. Could you imagine a burger that's 70% smaller than it is now? Barely eatable, honestly. And then the last thing for this topic is that there's going to be decreased benefits and increased taxes. So one example I found was that a single mother making minimum wage during 1 month would lose her earned income tax credit by like $80. And that she's going to lose a whole bunch of food stamp benefits along with that because she's making more money. But she's going to have to pay more state and payroll taxes because she's making more money. So in all, she's losing money monthly rather than gaining it. The next topic I'm going to move on to is that how companies are going to have to move to another country because they can't afford to keep their companies here. This is called outsourcing when a company moves to another country. They're going to do this because it's cheaper for them. Labor is going to be different priced in a different country, so they're going to move. That is also ties back up to unemployment. That's if a big company moves, everybody here is going to lose their job, which we don't want that. So, and then the next thing I'm going to discuss is the history of the minimum wage to the current minimum wage. So, minimum wage was introduced in 1938 during the Great Depression, but there was a Supreme Court case about it in 1917, and that was called Settler versus O'Hara, and it challenged the constitutionality of minimum wage. So it's been around for as long as can be. And then the current minimum wage today in 2019 is $9.45. Donald Trump was originally he was considering raising the minimum wage, but I think he realizes now that that's not a good idea, which it isn't. So I did find out an economic survey on which was the results were that 71% of the majority of surveyed economics believe that the earned income tax credit is effective, but only 5% of $15 per hour minimum wage would be efficient. So only 5% of that $15 per hour minimum wage would be efficient. That's literally nothing. It's not a good idea. So in conclusion, minimum skills equals a minimum pay. If you're working at a fast food restaurant, you should not be earning $15 an hour. It's just not gonna happen. It's stupid. If we raise minimum wage to $15 an hour, there is going to be a huge loss of jobs. Consumer prices are going to just skyrocket through the roof. Or if the prices isn't going to go up, the consumer product size is going to decrease, such as a burger coming from this massive hamburger to a mini slider. Housing prices and taxes are also going to go up. You're really not gaining anything by making more money because you're just losing it and paying taxes, or you have your food stamp benefits taken away from you, or your earned income tax credit is going to decrease. Small businesses are probably going to be forced to close because they don't have enough business as it is, and they're not going to be able to afford to pay anybody that minimum wage. And then another thing is the big companies are going to be moving to other countries to save money. That's going to hurt our economy here because we're not going to have as many workers, and that ties back to unemployment, and the unemployment rates are going to skyrocket up. So minimum wage is not a good idea to raise to $15 an hour. Thank you for listening.